So the president has said that he's going to talk about the, quote, big things. Now, I know you're on the other side here as a Republican, but for the president, he's had a couple of wins. He's had a couple of clear losses. Some of the wins would be minimum wage, at least moving forward, et cetera. But, you know, we showed this Facebook list in advance, and none of the top 5 things that people, at least on Facebook, which tends to skew younger, had anything to do with the economy. What do you think the president's idea of big should be tonight?
Well, I think big is addressing the direct concerns that people have who may have a job, but they're not making enough to make ends meet. What about the person who's working 2 or 3 jobs? Where I'm from, you could be making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, but your family is getting split apart because people are going to Carolinas and Florida because they can't afford to survive. So it's about improving the business climate and creating more good-paying private sector jobs, make it easier for a business to be able to expand and grow. So whether it's the economy, defeating ISIS, improving education, addressing the fiasco that has developed under Obamacare, going big, in many respects, has to do with fixing the mistakes that this president created in the first place.
The State of the Union is often judged by, I guess you could say, pageantry, the number of standing ovations and applauses and things like that. You know, the president is apparently now saying that he regrets not having bridged a few major gaps between Congress and his administration. What could he say tonight to change any of that?
Well, this president has been all politics all of the time. And it's really about the proposals and the rhetoric and his tone as to whether or not he truly wants to reach out and have a bridge between the White House and Congress. Because I have colleagues who might be the most conservative members, and especially, obviously, Democrats who are here who have been drinking the Kool-Aid the entire time, and everyone in between. People are ready to work with this president to defeat ISIS and to secure the homeland, for example. But the president has to be willing to start talking in reality. If he comes here and says, you know, ISIL will be defeated, but there's no plan, that's going to cause a lot of skepticism. So tone, rhetoric, and the substance of his plans, I think, are all very important to be able to bridge that divide.
Joe Biden, the vice president, has sent an email blast to supporters, and we found this quote interesting. "We used to get along with one another. Sure, we'd fight like hell, but we had more than a modicum of respect for another. I believe that at our core, the vast majority of Americans share that same belief." I hope for many Americans that we do. We actually feel better when we see both sides of the aisle working together, at least for the common good, and why it would be so hard to find common ground between both sides when it comes to how to battle ISIS and also how to make it easier for businesses to do better in this world. We're a business network. Representative Zeldin, what do we need to do to make that happen? And surely it involves at least changing the corporate tax structure code.
Well, there's no doubt that we need tax reform. It might be something for the next president if this president doesn't get behind it. I mean, last month we did pass a 5-year, fully funded transportation bill where Republicans and Democrats were able to work together. But now we're starting a new appropriations process. And if the Senate Democrats are filibustering every appropriations bill, there's really no way to fix all of the challenges that come with tackling our deficit and our debt, to be able to reform our tax code. So just because a victory might be a net gain for Republicans, that doesn't mean that you should fight it and prevent it.
The other side, yeah. That becomes a problem in our world.
Sometimes wins for Republicans are wins for America.
Congressman Lee Zeldin of New York, thank you so much.